Welcome to AirHeads. Coming up, Roger Lait is feeling the pressure. Well, he's talking about pressure in the ABC of HFT. Airstreaming has all our favourite YouTubers and what they've been up to in the last couple of weeks. News leads on products you will see at the CLA Game Fair this weekend. First, Simon Whitehead, half ferret, half man. Now this time he is wielding his air rifle out with Darren Rogers.
I'm with Rabbit Supremo Simon Whitehead. We're on one of his permissions and it is absolutely riddled with rabbits, and there's far too many rabbits here for him to ferret, so he's going to extol the virtues of using an air rifle. And as always, he's got his faithful FX Cyclone in FAC. I've already counted 84 rabbits out in this paddock, and this paddock is, what do you reckon, 3 acres? 2 acres? 3 acres.
About 3 acres.
But the main contract Simon's got is neighbouring all the arable field. We've got an onion field to our left. And rabbits absolutely love onions, so it's imperative that he cracks on and gets this job done.
It's a testament to the ideal breeding conditions this year with this lovely Mediterranean sunshine that the rabbits have gone absolutely bonkers. So, as I always keep reiterating, little rabbits make big rabbits. So we're coming here tonight, and normally my modus operandi is the ferrets and the nets, but people don't realise how much I use this FX Cyclone 2-2 air rifle, and this is custom built for this sort of environment where I can shoot a good distance safely with no dangers of ricochets, or I know what the drop off is, and we can quietly account for hopefully quite a large number of rabbits tonight. So we're going to get the truck parked up. As you can see, it's camouflaged and it'll blend into the surroundings like anything, and the rabbits won't take an iota bit of notice of it, because here they're that used to people walking about and cars. My truck isn't going to make a difference, so hopefully we won't give them a chance to go back to the warren and tell their friends who's inside of it. So without further ado, I'm going to get cracking and see if we can shoot some rabbits. He's trying to wake his friend up there, see that? You join him then, if you like him that much, lay beside him. The good thing about leaving these other rabbits, dropping them down, is A, we're not disturbing them, keep walking backwards and forwards, but I would guess that it could be a doe in season or one of its siblings. But what we was trying to do was try to wake it up, you know. Come on Henry, hobble up, get up. And of course he joined him. That was smack on in the head, that was. Some of the rabbits have been headshot, and the nerves take a long time to get out, and they thrash about a bit, and people wrongly think the rabbit's still alive, but it's not. It's completely dead, clinically dead, but the nerves are still active, more so in the younger rabbits than the older ones. And this is why sometimes I prefer to have an engine room shot where it drops in its shadow, which we've seen tonight, and it doesn't thrash about, and it doesn't put the rabbits off as much as something thrashing about. But the main reason why I like it is because we're in quite a sensitive area, and nobody can really see from the offset what we're doing, and the last thing I want is a twitcher or a dog walker to see a rabbit doing the high jump across the paddock. So the majority of the time I am going for the chest shot, but like the last one where it was a headshot, it's just flicked 3 foot into the hedge, completely dead, and I'll have to go and retrieve that later on and get some nettle rash for me troubles. So best stick to the engine room shots. A lot of people have got onto me on my travels of why I like the FX Cyclone so much, and the reason I like it is not that it is accurate, and it spits out 24 foot-pounds, which many people cite as the ideal poundage for rabbits. It's got a little tab on the side where I can reduce it if I'm shooting within a confined area and want to go under 12 foot-pound. But it's the cocking system. As you can see, we're aiming at rabbits, we're shooting cocking and shooting and our eyes are still in the scope. So instead of having to lift it up and down and back, it just gives me an ease of shooting. And if it works, why change?
That's why I like the FX. Shoot, cock, shoot. Fantastic. Rabbits aren't the only thing coming out. My DVD, Run Rabbit Run.
Well, that's it. Gun's been made safe now, and it's on me carrier. All safe, safety. Just going to go and have a bit of a pickup now because there's starting to be a bit of a collection of lifeless corpses along the hedgerow. So I'll just have a quick pop up and then we can jump back in the car so I'm not disturbing anything.
First time ever I've seen you in any form of camouflage.
Because it's the only thing that was clean this morning.
That's why so many rabbits come out today, look, because they can't see you.
Yeah,
Sat in your truck.
I know, brilliant, yeah.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Simon. Plenty of rabbits around at the moment. Now, from one carrot muncher to another, it's David with HotAir.
This is HotAir. Colchester Rifle Club has hosted a target shooting day for the disabled. The free event, which took place at the club's range, showed how the sport is appropriate for people with disabilities. The Rifle Club works closely with Chevese VC House, a recovery centre in Colchester for wounded servicemen and women run by Help for Heroes. The next version of the high-tech Daystate Pulsar is being tested at the factory. The Pulsar synthetic uses a stock made from ballistic nylon, the same material used in Glock pistol frames. It should be in gun shops from August. Two big HFT competitions took place at the weekend. It was round 5 of the UK HFT National Series 2015 at Buxted in East Sussex. Jason Bressington took gold. Manufacturer's team winner is Air Arms, and Air Arms provided the HFT 500 for the raffle prize. Meanwhile, the latest round of the HFT Masters competition took place at Cambridge. The winner was Elliot Compton with a top cash prize of £250, a £100 Airgun centre voucher, a jackpot suit and Sportsmatch mounts voucher. The Corvid Hunting Group is having a get-together. It's described as being a relaxed affair with loads of targets and a competition and a barbecue. It takes place at GTS Adventure near York on Saturday the 8th of August, starting at 10:30. If you're off to the CLA this weekend, look out for BSA's range of new targets. They include a crow field target, pack of 100 paper targets and a rabbit field target with 4 bullseye rings. The CLA Game Fair takes place at Harewood House near Leeds on Friday the 31st of July through to the 2nd of August. Go to gamefair.co.uk. And finally, pest control is key in managing the effects of climate change. That's the conclusion of a report by Natural England, commissioned by organisations including the RSPB. It says that pest control is one of several key adaptation actions to assist priority species. You are now up to date with HotAir, aiming for accuracy, targeting the truth.
Thank you, David. And he mentioned the CLA Game Fair. Now we can get you 50p off a burger. Go to Food Court R at the Game Fair and look for the Wild Food Company. There you will find our man Kai at Bryn. Say hello, Charlie, to him and he'll give you a discount, almost unheard of at the CLA. Next up, let's look at pressure with Roger Lait.
Scope sorted, gun sorted, it's zeroed. Right, the one thing we haven't checked is the power of the gun. Now I know, again because I'm a competition shooter, that I set my guns up to about 777 foot per second. So it's 777 feet per second with an 844 pellet, thus, set up to 777 foot per second. Now that gives me leeway because on a really hot day, potentially this gun could go up in power. On a cold day, potentially it could go down. At 777, you're safe. Now we don't want to fall foul of the law, do we? Do we? No, we don't. So what we need to do is set the gun up under the legal limit, and as we all know, it's very important to do that because this will turn into a firearm and we don't want that. Now, I set that up to 777, it's perfect. If it's a really hot day, because today's quite a chilly day to be honest, yeah? If this is in the car for a long drive and they've got the heaters on and this and that and steps playing, of course, what happens is, potentially, the power could go up. So I get to my competition, I'm raring to go, brilliant stuff. I go over to the chrono, they chronograph it, it's overpowered, off you go. So I don't want that at all. So with the 777, it keeps me well under the legal limit, yeah? An 844 is 800 feet per second is the maximum you can have. Yeah, that is, with an 844 pellet in 177, 800 feet per second. So, with 777, if it warms up a little bit and goes to 785, well, I'm still winning. If it's a chilly day, it may go down to 769, but it's still fine. It won't alter the jet too much. But that's what we need to do. Make sure it's not. Some people do run it very close to the limit, and that's up to them. I don't personally, because I don't want to fall foul of the law, and I want some consistency in the gun. So that's the way I like it. So set your gun up. Once it's all done, lovely. Chronograph it, chronograph it, chronograph it. Make sure you do it when it's cold. Make sure you do it when it's warm. Make sure you do it when it's hot, because you want to know what your gun does. And does it move? Because some do, some don't. This doesn't move that much, to be honest, yeah, but I've had some guns that really, really do. One of the things I used to do is get a gun on a cold day and put it into the airing cupboard. Obviously unloaded and made sure it's safe, yeah, and didn't tell the missus, of course. Left it in the airing cupboard for about an hour and a half, so it's nice and warm, and then straight outside and chronograph it. And if I'd set the power up before it did that sort of thing, yeah, with about 777, would it go up? Sometimes it would, sometimes, on some guns, it wouldn't alter at all. This one went up 1 foot per second, so it's negligible. And then you leave it outside on the table, outside in the garden, freezing cold, then you chronograph it, and the power goes down slightly. You must be careful of this. This is a really tricky situation to be in. If you've got a gun that's really set up perfectly for you and everything's wonderful, if you're over power and the law get you, ain't good. Don't want to be there, do you? No, you don't want to be there.
Thank you, Roger. Now from regulating your airguns to unregulated fun on YouTube, it is Airstreaming. Charlie Jacoby here. This is my roundup of the best air gunning on YouTube. Pellet Power sends in air rifle pest control feather and fur. He is knocking back the pests with his HW100KT in 177. Lord Doe of air gunning, Airgun World editor Terry Doe is at the Air Arms factory talking through the build process and generally detecting metal. Squirrel Shooting Family mini-series reaches its third and final part. Worth watching it in order, but if you have seen the rest, here is number 3. Don't know if you saw the Hallo Charlie in our Field Sports Britain show this week, but here is Hunter's Vermin hard at it on a permission after feed-munching jackdaws. Mr. Dave Ratz is uploading new films like he never went away. This one is Wood Pigeons on a July Day. Andy's Range has put in the hours to bring out this part 2 of his Daystate Huntsman Regal review. He uses it on HFT targets at Furnace Mill Fishery in Worcestershire and, from 5 minutes in, pigeons, squirrels and magpies. One of the joys of YouTube is seeing how they do what we do but in different countries. The Kucha is Indonesian and shooting turtle doves. There is a little bahazar to get through, but you will get the picture. And finally, Gamekeeper John moves into the world of comedy with all the big bore, big game airguns being launched. It was only a matter of time before he put out big game hunting with a catapult. Click on the links to watch the videos, or you will find them in this film's description. If you would like to send in a video for Airstreaming, ping me the link, charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv. Well, that's it for Airheads this episode. We're back in a couple of weeks. Goodbye.